Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today we continue our coverage of the official Handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition with issue 14. Issue 14, published in 1986 by Marvel Comics. This issue covers Unicorn to Wolverine and features another wonderful wraparound cover from new cover artist Ron Frenz, who took over a few issues ago from John Byrne. And we see many of the characters who appear in this issue here on our cover. And of course, prominent among them is Wolverine, really nice Wolverine from Ron Frenz there. Other standouts for me, some minor characters, of course. It looks like there's Wendigo there in the background, Uatu the Watcher, Terminus, the Unimind, Will-o'-the-Wisp, old Spider-Man villain, Water Wizard, one of my favorite lesser villains. So yeah, great issue. Let's dive in. And our front piece column, in addition to our credits, which I'll get to in a second, has a column from Mark Gruenwald called Changing Frequencies. Here, Mark Gruenwald announces to us that as of this issue, the series to the end is going to go bi-monthly for monthly. And simply the reason why is because they're just exhausted putting this giant book out every month. So the other major thing covered in this is a change. Howard Mackey's been promoted out of his position on this book, and Greg Wright takes over as assistant editor. Other than that, Mark Gruenwald is the writer-producer, Peter Sanderson, writer-researcher, Elliot Brown, technical illustrator, Joseph Rubenstein, inker embellisher on all the main figures in the entries, Andy Yanchus, colorist of those figures, and then a host of other very capable individuals. And I should correct myself. I stand corrected. Not a Ron Frenz cover. This is actually Keith Pollard, Marvel's stalwart artist Keith Pollard on the cover here. So I stand corrected. Stand corrected there. All right, let's dive in. So we have a Unicorn entry here. Unicorn, an old Iron Man villain. Great artwork here by Art Adams. Unicorn, Milos Mazarik, ex-intelligence agent, now a subversive. His identity is secret. He's a Czechoslovakian citizen. He's from that sort of anti-Soviet era of Marvel Comics, the Cold War era, so to speak. First appearance, Tales of Suspense, number 56. Former agent of Count Nefaria, the Red Ghost, the Mandarin, and the Titanium Man. He's got a host of cool powers, including superhuman strength. Unicorn possesses superhuman strength and can lift press 15 tons. Unicorn is superhumanly strong, and his body's soft tissues are dozens of times tougher than normal. His body can repel 50 caliber machine gun fire and withstand flame to 900 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty great. And also he has built into his costume this awesome beam, which kind of gives him his name. And that's a great Romita Jr. Cover, Iron Man cover there. And then we have some older artwork, including what I think may be some Tuska or Don Heck artwork here. Great drawing of his helmet, another of our Elliot Brown technical drawings, really cool. And so now we'll move on to the Unimind. This one drawn by longtime inker Sam De La Rosa. And the Unimind is essentially an amalgam of all the Eternals. They can become this super psionic force called the Unimind in times of dire need. First appearance, Eternals, Volume 1, number 12. We have an entry on the Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation. This was a great sort of way to introduce some new blood into the Marvel Universe. And many of them were given their powers by the Power Brokers treatment. So a lot of them could basically have the same kind of power set, limited super endurance, super strength in like the 10-ton range. Thing was involved. Of course, Iceberg Ike is Icarus from the Eternals. Armadillo is another notable character to come out of the Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation. I guess they listed Beyonder because he was involved in one of their stories. Next up, we have Eunice the Untouchable. This is some interesting artwork, so I'm going to see who draws this one. Oh, Joe Barney. Joe Barney, I know, drew an interesting Hulk story in Marvel Fanfare involving Hulk fighting the Blob and Pyro or Avalanche from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So, Eunice the Untouchable, first appearance, X-Men #8. Gunther Bane is his original name. Naturalized citizen of the U.S. with a criminal record. He is a mutant, as I said, I think, and he has force field related powers. Pretty cool, old school Marvel character. He's been around quite a bit. Ursa Major, excellent character, member of the Soviet super soldiers. Really cool artwork here. I like how they show him in his human form, and then they have this great Sal Buscema panel from the Hulk showing him transforming into his bear form. In his untransformed state, Mikhail Ursus possesses the normal human strength of a man of his age, height, and build who engages in intensive exercise. Transformed into his bear form, he can lift press approximately 1 ton under optimal conditions. Okay, so he was horribly nerfed in this edition. I believe in the previous edition of the official handbook, he could lift press 15 tons, which I thought was a pretty respectable number. But here, they've terribly nerfed him. First appearance, Hulk 258. And that artwork is James Reddington. So, not familiar with his work, but a very nice piece. And then we have a Dynamite Valkyrie entry here. Brunhilde, the Valkyrie, longtime Defenders member. First appearance in her Enchantress form, Avengers 87. As Samantha Parrington in Valkyrie form, Incredible Hulk 142. And as Barbara Norris, who she came to be as the character through the rest of her career, Defenders #3. And then she fully became Brunhilde the Valkyrie in Defenders 109. She's got a pretty tortured history in terms of her overall identity. Great character, though. As I said, stalwart member of the Defenders. She's got an incredibly long entry as befitting someone who has the sort of weird, twisting character history. I love this panel here. I'm not sure who does this one. It could be Sal, could be Dawn Perlin of her lifting this car. Totally awesome. And she does possess prodigious superhuman strength. And she can lift press 45 tons, whereas the average Asgardian female can lift about 25 tons. So she's, as a chooser of the slain, she is more powerful. And she has all the Asgardian immunities. Like all Valkyries, Brunhilde can perceive and sense the coming of death. She can see a death glow surrounding a person who is in serious danger of dying. Although most Asgardians and human beings cannot see the glow, a person surrounded by the death glow might still be saved from dying until he or she meets his or her inevitable and at some later time under different circumstances. And then Brunhilde can transport herself in a dying or dead person from the earth dimension to the other dimensional realm of the dead, just by willing herself to do so. So she's got some cool secondary powers related to her role as a chooser of the slain. And a nice shot of Valkyrie's sword, Dragon Fang. Pretty cool. Next up is Vanguard, drawn by Dave Cockrum. Awesome Dave Cockrum piece here. Really cool. And I want to say this is a Byrne piece here. That definitely looks like a Byrne Iron Man. I'm not sure where this is from, though. His first appearance, Incredible Hulk 259, along with Ursa Major, also a member of the Soviet super soldiers. Nikolai Kurilenko is his name. Nice shot of his hammer and sickle. Vanguard possesses the mutant ability to repel any form of energy directed toward him. His body is surrounded by a natural force field, which, in a manner is yet unknown, redirects all electromagnetic and kinetic energy over a certain potency. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think this cool panel of him slashing this wolf is from an issue of Rom. They were one of the many guest stars in Rom's title. Next up, we have the Vanisher. Vanisher, drawn by Dwayne Turner. Nice piece in his sort of more modern costume. He's a mutant teleporter. First appearance, X-Men #2. So he's got a storied history in the Marvel Universe. One of the X-Men's oldest foes, the Vanisher. We have a great entry on the Vault, including some awesome diagrams for you RPG tabletop players out there. Very useful if you want to set any kind of scenario in the Vault. Very cool. And this one is the one that really takes the cake here. You can really get a good picture of the facility from this full page drawing by Elliot Brown. Totally awesome. And we see a neat inset here of the guardsmen who are the power armored wearing guards and security force who controls the vault. There was a great Avengers Marvel graphic novel called Breakout the Vault, and I'm not sure which epic it's reprinted in or which omnibus it's reprinted in, but it's a pretty cool story. That would be one I would like to read again. Along with Emperor Doom, that's another cool one. Vermin, cool Captain America villain. Who draws this guy? Javier Saltaris. So yeah, this is early Marvel Javier Saltaris. He would go on in the later 80s and 90s to be a big part of the Marvel Universe. He did that revived Ghost Rider title, along with a bunch of other work for Marvel and other companies in the 90s. Real name unrevealed. First appearance Captain America 272. Strength level, Vermin possesses superhuman strength, enabling him to lift press approximately 1,000 pounds under optimal conditions. He possesses superhuman strength, speed, and agility. He can run at speeds of 35 miles per hour for a half an hour without tiring appreciably. His teeth and nails are strong enough to gnaw or rend wood, fibers, and even soft metals, like lead. Really cool character. Not certainly a top-tier villain, but a good foe. And then I think he had a bit of a tragic air to him as well. He was a product of Baron Zemo and Arnim Zola's experimentation, so he does definitely have a tragic air. Brief entry on Vibranium with no illustration. The first appearance of Vibranium was Daredevil 13, and Wakandan Vibranium was Fantastic Four 53, and it was right around the first appearance of the Black Panther. Great character, Black Panther. Vindicator, this is the Heather Hudson version. So by this time, this will have been Mantlow's Alpha Flight. As Heather Hudson, first appearance X-Men 139. Alpha Flight, in costume, Alpha Flight number 32. As Vindicator, Alpha Flight 34. Origin, Alpha Flight 24. Who draws this one? This looks like, it's Dave Ross maybe. Carl Potts. Okay, Carl Potts does that. Nice. In the Vindicator suit, she can lift press 3.5 tons, and she has a host of energy wielding and force field related powers, plus flight. And we get a neat shot of a Byrne, James McDonald Hudson Vindicator / Guardian in action. That's a nice Byrne panel right there. And we have Viper, real name unknown, first appearance Captain America 110. She's one of the great female Marvel villains, definitely up there. That's a great Mike Zeck illustration there. Very cool shot of Viper. Her origin was Cap 113. And there she is pictured with her longtime partner and lover, the Silver Samurai. That's a Steve Aloha panel there. This is a great Paul Smith panel from X-Men 173, her blasting Rogue at close range in the hospital when Rogue is trying to rescue the X-Men and Wolverine. That's right when you knew Rogue was going to complete her heel turn and become a true member of the X-Men, because she almost gave up her life. Abilities. The Viper has the strength, agility, stamina, and coordination of an Olympic athlete. She has been rigorously trained in various martial arts and is a skilled marksman. She is also skilled in using a whip as a weapon. The Viper is a brilliantly cunning criminal strategist. Pretty cool. We have a nice entry on the Vision here. And this looks like Richard Howell artwork. Let me see. Jerry Ordway. Nice work, Jerry Ordway. First appearance as the Human Torch, Fantastic Four Annual number 4. As the Vision, Avengers 57. A great title tag, Behold the Vision. So we've got a lot of great artwork. Vision has a very long entry here, befitting his status as a long-time mainstay of the Avengers and member of the Marvel Universe, basically. Strength level, the Vision possesses artificial superhuman strength, enabling him at maximum density to lift press approximately 50 tons. At regular density, he can lift press approximately 5 tons. At his minimum density, 0, he can lift press nothing. Vision has a host of powers related to density ulceration. He also can blast people from his jewel. It's also been shown by artists as eye beams. And I also think, too, there was one cover, sort of an ersatz cover, where he's depicted with shooting blasts from his hands, but he never did that, I don't think, in a story. So some cool artwork across these many panels here. This is Byrne and Klaus Janson inks, I think. Pretty neat. Oh, Volcana. Great character from the Secret Wars. Love it. Marsha Rosenberg. First appearance, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #3. Really cool. She becomes created by Doom on the Battle World. I covered Titania, I think, in the last issue, where Volcana was created right alongside her. And she has vast energy manipulating powers related to heat. And we see a lot of cool action sequences here, including a couple of Busemas, a lot of Zek from the Secret Wars as her blasting the She-Hulk. Very cool. Great character. This is awesome artwork here. I wonder if that is Zek. Let me see. It is. Yeah, great Mike Zek drawing of Volcana. I love the fact that she was like a fuller figured gal. She's really impressive looking here in this picture from Zek. Really nice. And it's cool that she has this romance with kind of the mousy Molecule Man, even though he has incredibly vast powers. They're just a neat, sort of mismatched couple. Vulture, Adrian Toomes, one of the oldest Spider-Man villains. First appearance is Adrian Toomes, Amazing Spider-Man #2. So he's got a long history, obviously, as one of the original Spider-Man villains, a Ditko design. Ron Frenz draws him. Nicely done here. So when wearing his harness, he does have superhuman strength. He can lift press 700 pounds, which is considered superhuman from a man of his age, height, and build. So pretty cool. With his harness on, he can fly at speeds of up to 95 miles per hour for up to 6 hours and attain a height of 11,000 feet. I always thought Vulture was more dangerous as a planner and a schemer than an actual physical threat to Spider-Man. He's just a neat character. Great entry here on Wakanda, including replete with really cool maps, not real nice maps here. Warlock, that's a Bill Sienkiewicz Warlock drawing there. Get some Alan Davis too. Warlock's first appearance was New Mutants #18. That was when Bill Sienkiewicz took the title over. It was quite a shock to the system for folks like me who are fans of the Marvel house style. I wasn't a super sophisticated fan at that point, I'll admit it. So when Sienkiewicz took over with that weird style, I was a little bummed out because, man, I really wanted to keep the Sal Buscema, Tom Mandrake art flowing in that title. But I grew to accept and love it, and I understand its genius now in retrospect. Warlock, funky, cool character. This is a great Alan Davis panel, him merging with Doug Ramsey to make the pairing of Douglock. We get a nice entry on the Warriors 3 here. And I don't know, it looks like it could be Simonson. Let me check here. Oh, no, it's Sal Buscema. Nice job by Sal, our pal Sal here on the Warriors 3. They first appear Journey into Mystery 119 for Volstagg, Hogan, and Fandral. They all appeared together in 119. Volstagg is 6'8". They list his weight as unknown, which is kind of a cop-out. In his prime, Volstagg could lift press about 40 tons. Now he can lift 35. Hogan is being able to lift press 35 tons, and Fandral can lift press 30 tons. The Warriors 3. The Wasp, great entry on Jan Van Dyne. She grew to be maybe next to Cap, the greatest leader in Avengers history. She led them through the attack on the mansion, everything leading up to that. She was the leader for, I think, again, in another stint, and a member of the West Coast team as well. Just a great character. Really nice. I think this is a John Buscema panel drawing of her here. Yep, Big John. Really cool. long entry is befitting one of Marvel's most storied characters. Tales to Astonish, number 44. Wasp was always known for being short. Yeah, she's 5'4", so she is not that short. She's taller than Prince. Anyway, but great George Perez panel there. Great shot of her punching the Collector. Very cool. That's Perez. Blasting through a cinder block there. Really cool. John Byrne does a beautiful entry on the Watchers here, and that's a Byrne from FF. And then I think that's Buscema maybe there, or Rich Buckler, not sure. First appearance of Uatu was Fantastic Four number 13. And of the larger Watchers as a group, Tales of Suspense 53. Great shot of Water Wizard. I wonder if that's Keith Pollard there. Let me look. Let's see here. Oh, I think they have, in our table of contents, Water Wizard is missed out, so we're not sure who draws him. Interesting. All right. I do love me some Water Wizard, though. Peter Van Zank, Ghost Rider number 23 is his first appearance. Water Wizard possesses the ability to silently control all liquids within about 500 feet of himself. We have some great action panels here of him using his powers. Really cool. And you got to give a guy credit who's willing to take on Ghost Rider multiple times, because Ghost Rider is a deadly foe and can burn you with hellfire and singe your soul. So, really cool. They later, in the 90s him up pretty good and give him a new costume and I think even a new name. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I like the original with the thigh-high boots and the crazy colors. Wendigo, great shot of Wendigo by Steve Geiger. Really cool. And it's weird, too, because Wendigo, they give him an entry here, but it's like it's not a full entry. They don't give him a strength level or discuss his powers. It just, they do list first appearance Hulk 162. We don't really get his measurements. Maybe because anyone can be the Wendigo, they've chosen to present it like this. The Wendigo's magical nature renders it immune to all normal forms of disease and aging. Once a person becomes a Wendigo, he or she remains a Wendigo for the rest of his or her life, unless by some magical means the curse is lifted. The Wendigo possesses superhuman strength comparable to that of the Hulk and Sasquatch, as well as a high degree of resistance to injury and pain. It is virtually impossible to kill it. Lots of great John Byrne panels here. I mean, this is pretty much all from X-Men 139 and 140. Really cool. Werewolf. Jack Russell. Let's take a look at who draws that great panel for Werewolf. Paul Ryan. Nice work from Paul Ryan. First appearance of the Werewolf, Marvel Spotlight, number 2. He gets a lengthy entry. That's a great Sienkiewicz panel there, that one as well. He wasn't often a foe of Moon Knight. He certainly made the rounds in early Marvel into the Bronze Age. Werewolf can lift press approximately 1,500 pounds under optimal conditions when he is in his intermediate form. On the 3 nights of the full moon, his strength is greater and he can lift press approximately 1 ton. So that's a neat little add-on. And he has all the animalistic powers you would associate with werewolves, including a vulnerability to silver. Whirlwind, love the redesigned Whirlwind costume here. And I need to see who draws this. Kerry Gammill. Really great artwork from Kerry Gammill here. Real name David Cannon, professional criminal, publicly known. One of Marvel's first mutants, I would say. First appearance as the Human Top, Tales to Astonish, number 50 as Whirlwind, Avengers 46. This is a great shot of him from Paul Neary and Dennis Janke from Cap when he featuring his new issue, Captain America, featuring his new outfit. Really cool. Whirlwind possesses superhuman strength, particularly in his legs. While he can lift press approximately 1,000 pounds, he can leg press 2,000 pounds. So this continues the trend in this version of the Marvel Universe Handbook, where they're giving speedsters limited superhuman strength and incredible superhuman leg strength. We get a really cool cutaway drawing of his wrist blades and the mechanism that powers them. Let's see if I can quickly pick out. Yeah, he can fly like a helicopter for 120 miles an hour for up to 10 minutes, in addition to a host of other powers. Great artwork here for the White Queen, Emma Frost. She's our next entry. First appearance, X-Men 132. Origin, classic X-Men #7. White Queen, drawn by Mark Beecham. That's burn panel there. Yeah, these are all John Byrne here from right around the Dark Phoenix saga. This is probably like X-Men 132 or 131. This is probably 131, I think. She has vast telepathic powers. This is a great shot of her when Phoenix basically puts her into a coma because Phoenix possessed godlike telepathic powers. Will-o-the-Wisp, that might be another Mark Beecham or Sandy Plunkett. Let me check. Spider-Man villain, Spider-Man 167, first appearance. Origin, Spider-Man 235. Will-o-the-Wisp, that's Sandy Plunkett. Nice artwork. He's another of those density controlling characters. So he has superhuman strength. He can lift press 12 tons. And of course, he can turn intangible, fly. He's got a bunch of cool powers. He's a formidable Spider-Man foe. Great Calling Wing here by Kerry Gamel. I can recognize his style pretty easily on this one. I love Calling Wing. Great character. First appearance, Marvel Premiere number 19. That might be one to track down. That might be a gettable first appearance. I like to collect the first appearances of sort of like secondary or lesser characters that I enjoy reading their exploits, and so getting her first appearance would be fun. Abilities. Calling Wing has mastered the traditional warrior skills of the Japanese samurai and is highly skilled as a swordswoman. She has considerable knowledge of the martial arts and is an excellent athlete. Calling Wing is also a highly skilled detective. Calling Wing carried and wields a katana, a traditional Japanese samurai sword. And a lot of times in this series, and Power Man and Iron Fist and other tales, she would use it sheathed almost as a club. She would only really pull the blade out against particularly deadly foes. Great Wyatt Wingfoot here by Jackson Geiss, really cool. 6'5", 260, first appearance, Fantastic Four number 50. So he's got a long Marvel history. Cool character, no superhuman powers. Wyatt Wingfoot is a formidable hand-to-hand combatant with considerable athletic skill. He's a brilliant tracker and skilled at training animals. Wingfoot is a fine horseman and motorcyclist and a skilled marksman. Also a romantic interest of the She-Hulk. Great Wizard, one of my favorite Marvel villains, Frightful Four character. That's a John Byrne there. Really nice Wizard entry. And we get a long entry on him, including some really cool drawings of his gear. Really cool stuff. And let's see, he has a host of powers related to his gear that he wears. And he's incredibly smart. I think his gloves give him limited superhuman strength. Yeah, he can lift press at least 500 pounds with his gloves on. So that's pretty cool. His main thing is the anti-gravity discs. That was his, the Wingless Wizard was his moniker. And he could also shoot blasts out of his hands. He's a cool character. Fun. Little guy, though, 5'8", 150. The wizard has little athletic ability and has had no training in unarmed combat. However, his intellect is of genius level, and he has made discoveries that reach beyond the scope of contemporary science in such fields as the study of subatomic particles and the study of other dimensions. They make it a point that he's not as smart as Mr. Fantastic. Okay, I get it. Wolfsbane, Jackson Geiss. Really great picture of Rain Sinclair Wolfsbane. Marvel graphic novel number 4 is her first appearance. Height and human form, 4 feet 10 inches. Wow, so she is small. She's 90 pounds. She's tiny. She has height and strength, but they don't detail it in her transformed forms. We get a lot of cool panels here. A lot of Bob McLeod artwork, who created her. Some Sal Buscema mixed in here. Really cool. I did, and this may be controversial, I did like the New Mutants movie that came out a couple of years ago, and I thought, I'm blanking on her name now, but the girl now woman who played Arya in Game of Thrones played Wolfsbane in that movie, and I thought she was great. And finally, the main event for this issue, Wolverine, real name Logan, first appearance, Incredible Hulk, number 180. For all you sticklers out there, they list his first appearance as 180, not 181. First full appearance is 181, though. We have a host of fantastic John Byrne and Frank Miller art in this entry. This one might be Paul Smith here. He's 5'3", 195 pounds. And here, I'm bummed out again. I talked about this before. Wolverine possesses the normal human strength of a man who engages in intensive regular exercise. I liked it in the previous edition where we knew that he could lift press 500 pounds. I love the gradation of detail between the non-superhumanly strong characters. But they decided to just go with a catch-all category. He has a host of superhuman powers related to his healing factor and his enhanced senses. Wolverine's fast healing ability makes him virtually immune to poisons and most drugs. For example, it is nearly impossible for him to become intoxicated from drinking alcohol. He also has a limited immunity to the fatigue poisons generated by bodily activity, and hence he has greater endurance than an ordinary human being. Let's see. I think, his origin was still not known here, and I prefer Wolverine with the mystery. The more you learned about Wolverine, I feel the more it spoiled the character. I know people like to reveal origins, but that era of mystery is kind of what made Wolverine cool. It's what made him mysterious and fun back in the day when we were first reading him. It's, I think somewhere in here, I'm not going to dig it out, they talk about the fact that his age might not be known because of his healing factor. But yeah, great entry on Wolverine. Byrne, Miller there. Very cool panels. Abilities. Wolverine's a master of many forms of unarmed combat. That's cool. Appendix, other dimensions. This one I'm going to read about Tagak's world. Type, alien world. Environment, Earth-like. Usual means of access, vibrational attunement. Dominant life form, humanoid. Prominent inhabitants, Tagak and Quothar. Comments. Little is known about the world other than the fact that life forms seem to be similar to those on Earth. It is possible that Tagat's world is crystallium, since it contains crystalline building structures. First appearance, Daredevil number 72. It had little-known villain Tagak the Leopard Lord, who is mentioned in here. And I think his first appearance was Daredevil 72. So that's it. That is our read-through of the official Handbook of the Marvel Universe, number 14. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of some of the characters in this issue, what you might want me to cover in the future. I still have 6 or 7 issues to go in the official handbook, and then I have to decide if I want to cover Update 89. But that's something I'll make a decision on as we move along. But I do thank you for watching, and I'll bring you more soon. Take care.